Beethoven's manic meandering continues, and I start. This is vk3sl. Welcome to the afternoon session. I'm bunkering down, just got home a few minutes ago. Back at the coalface. I tell you what, this has got whiskers on it. Well, I got whiskers on me, but this has got whiskers on it. This whole business of going to work, it's too much. No, we have to stay at home. And I don't know if I can make sense of this. Well, anyhow, we are back again, and we're testing, of course. That's the usual thing at this time. And we've really don't have any idea where the journey will take us today, because I haven't put any thought whatsoever into the session, except I frisbee 2 records onto the turntable. And what I can do, I can get a coin, and I'm going to flip the coin and see which one. So it'll be turntable 1 or turntable 2. Let's get a real coin, because we use coins to weigh down the pickups. Thanks, Mr. B. And what we can do is get the blue tack off the coin, and we'll give it a flick. Now, it's a $2 coin, so number 2 is turntable 2, and the heads is turntable 1. So let's see what we have in the air. And what do we have? We have 2. Turntable number 2. Well, let's hear what we have in store. I don't think I know, but we'll soon find out. vk3sl testing. That's supposed to work.
Pillow to the shadow of a willow tree, and tiptoe through the tulips with me. Deep, deep in flowers we'll stray, we'll keep the showers away. And if I kiss you in the garden, in the moonlight, will you pardon me? Come tiptoe through the tulips with me.
Gene Goldkett and the orchestra from 1927-ish, I think, maybe early 28. It's from the Greystone Ballroom in Detroit. At that time, Goldkett had a star band, and I think this is an augmented ensemble for recording purposes, or it could be a different band altogether. It's certainly not the band that Bix was in, But nevertheless, it's a very sprightly way to start the afternoon session. And this is vk3sl, and I've even got the gongs at the ready. And hello there, how are you, Frank?
Very well, how are you?
Yeah, great, all good, thank you. Yeah, hang in there. So, we've still got our boat over in the background there, we'll bit of fade him out. Yeah, no complaints, but so I tell you what, going back to work,
That's a bit rude for one day and then a long weekend.
I know, and we can't do anything on the long weekend, we're sort of stuck. That's a bit strange.
Yeah.
Never mind, that's the way of things, that's where we're at. That's the proverbial it at the moment, so we just sort of don't look sideways, so keep looking straight ahead. And hopefully we'll be out of this soon and we'll be resuming normality. I can't wait to get out and do a bushwalk. I was looking at the 25-kilometre radius and it doesn't take me far. There's a few green corridor walks, but
It gets me. I get a little bit of greenery around here, but it doesn't get me where I want to go, unfortunately.
Yeah, this is it. Of course, in your instance, you need to be up in the snow. It's beckoning you. Yeah, I just think all those lucky people who live up there in Mount Beauty, they can have it all to themselves.
Yeah, and I think it will be quiet up there because it's only regional Victoria, really. But it'll be a great weekend for them. I just hope the businesses do well out of it because they've had a rough couple of years.
Oh gosh, yes, absolutely they have. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, the season will prevail and everything will return to some vestige of normality. But anyhow, I try not to think too much about it. If I start thinking about it, my mind goes into overload, and then I start to, hairline fractures start to appear, and I lose my sensibility.
Yeah, I'm just concentrating on things here, really.
Yeah, that's it. So just look at the microcosm, the small things, and anyhow, it was. Look, it was good to see real people today and work with real people. I have to say, the kids I work with today, a delightful bunch, and that was a positive. And they're all very compliant, they're all working, and they've all got, they're getting something out of the lessons. So that's satisfying.
Oh, that's good. At least you have that feeling that you're making a difference.
Yeah, small difference, but it's just the sense that music. I think it's been quite for a lot of people. It's sort of a way. Well, this is what these missions are about too. It's a form of expression, whether it be listening to music or spinning records or playing. It's a way to sort of express oneself. So yeah, that's always a good thing. Anyhow, well, we'll see what else. I flipped a coin before, and there's another. I just took two random records out and plonked them on the turntables. And this next one, I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it's a parlophone, but we'll just usher it in and see what happens, shall we?
I shall be listening, but I'll be up and down and doing a few things downstairs as well. So we'll
sure.
Be listening.
No worries. Thanks, Frank. Well, we'll see what happens now. And the turntable's slow, the idler's slipping, but I think we are in gear. quick skate around the room brings me back to the desk, and I'll just fade out that record. And we just heard, I recognise it, at Sweet Sue, I'm pretty sure. And if I'm not mistaken, it's Joe Daniels' Hot Shots in Drumnastics. I reckon that's what it might be. I'm tangled here. Tangled headphone cord wrapped around everything. Let's have a look. I'll take this record off the table. Bring it up to the mic. Yes, Sweet Sue, Joe Daniels and his Hot Shots in Drumnastics. That was recorded in the late 1930s, I think. It's on a nice laminated Australian pressing on a parlophonium. Oh well, there's another one. On the other table, it is Benny Goodman's band and a track called Clarinet a la King. And I think this will go down well. I hope so. Benny Goodman and Clarinet a la King, a recording made in about 1942, I think, thereabouts.
Good evening, Steve.
Hi, Frank. How are you?
Very well. Just hold on 1 second.
Yeah, sure. We'll just get things sorted.
Get rid of the feedies. There we go.
Okay, that's all good. Now you're coming through nice and solid signal.
Can we just talk briefly about tonight's missions?
Yes, indeed. I sent you an email this morning. You may not have got it.
That's what I want to talk about.
Oh, okay, sure.
I'd love to hear more of that lovely lady that you want to play.
Oh, yes. That's it. Yeah, no, I'd like to do another feature on Harriet Cohen. We listened to her play the Bach D minor the other day, and I found a wonderful interview with her.
Oh.
So I'd like to play that and
Yes,
and sort of. It's not the right term, flesh out the story, but There's a few interesting tangents and some remarkable recordings of her playing Bach. And,
Strange.
Yeah.
Strange the way the mind works.
Yes, it is. It's a Freudian slip. Yes. Yeah. Anyhow, no, we'll certainly follow on with that theme, and a remarkable individual who inspired many people.
Now, you mentioned that I could have a jazz request.
Please, fire away.
Well, I've got two short, reasonably short things.
Great. Let me get a pen. Yep.
Yes, sure.
Yep. Okay. Fire away.
One is something very much similar to what you've been playing just now.
Yep.
It's a song it's a number by Woody Herman.
Yes.
And his men or something.
Yep.
Called The Golden Wedding.
Oh yes. Yep. That's La Cinquantaine.
Yes. Well done. It has nostalgic connections, which I'll talk very briefly about.
Ah. Okay.
And the other one is by the Modern Jazz Quartet.
Yeah.
And it's called Django.
Django.
Written in honour of you-know-who.
Yes. Modern Jazz Quartet. Okay.
That'll probably, I hope that will please Mr. F as well.
Oh, I'm sure it will. That's brilliant. Thank you. Excellent. Two excellent suggestions there. Do you know, I made a cylinder record of The Golden Wedding.
Oh, did you?
Yes. Well, quite a while ago, 2009, I think it was, when I caught up with Mr. L after a very long, I hadn't seen Mr. L since the 80s, and I caught up with him. And he was doing a special project which involved recording some musicians onto wax cylinders. And I got my cello out and I played The Golden Wedding.
Oh, wonderful.
So there's a cylinder out there of me playing The Golden Wedding on the cello.
That's a version I've never heard.
Yeah. So I'll dig it up one day. It's very faint, but it exists. There we go. Yeah. So, my father had a copy of the Woody Herman version of The Golden Wedding. That's a fantastic track.
It is.
It's wonderful. Is that the one with a really long note?
Yes.
Yeah,
yep, at the end.
Yes,
yep.
He's got a note that goes for something like 38 bars or something. 32
something like
bars.
that.
Yeah, it's just amazing. It's fantastic.
Good lungs.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's a great request. We'll certainly put that on the list for tonight, and we'll have a listen to Django as well. I look forward to that. Now, I'm happy to say that Mr. Collier has come up with a new song as well. So
excellent.
We'll save that one up for our evening session as well.
Yes, please.
So that should be good. Now, I'm looking forward to it very much. We'll be right to go. And I've heard back from Mr. J, and he is looking forward to face-to-face missions maybe on the 25th. So
I've talked to him today myself.
Okay.
And I'm perfectly in tune with what he wants to do.
Yeah, fine. Excellent. That sounds brilliant. So to the listener, we'll hopefully have a mega OTR session on the 25th of this month, and we'll have a face-to-face missions. I really look forward to it. It's always a real wag. We get out a couple of bottles of champagne and we go to town.
We love it, absolutely.
It's great fun. So yeah, and we play the rarest of the rare, and Mr. J's collection is just something extraordinary, and I'm very happy and honoured that he's prepared to share it with us. So
likewise, likewise honoured that you have us.
Oh, it's good fun. It's really good. So yeah, we'll look forward to that very much on the 25th. So it's in the diary, and I'll confirm it now that we've spoken. So that's all good. Yay. So all right. Well, I've just got another random pile in front of me here. All sorts of things. I don't know. I saw one before. Looked a bit bizarre. Let me find it. Do you know anything about? This is a little bit later. This is the Car Hops and a record called Music Makin' Mama from Memphis. I don't know. It's got Joe Finger's Car.
Joe Finger's Car and the Car Hops, yes.
Yeah.
I know the group. He was a bit of an identity.
Okay, all right. Well, it sounds like it's very much middle of the range 50s fare, but look, we'll put it on the table and have a listen. And
yeah, it's sort of Winifred Atwell type thing, I think.
Is it? Okay, all right. Well, we might get our honky tonk moment.
Oh yeah, everyone needs one.
Yeah, we all do. Absolutely. Yep. No, we can't deny our listeners our honky tonk session. So
this
let's
is VK3JR working vk3sl.
Yes, and we're testing here, of course, on 160 and also on UHF and streaming online as well. If you want to listen to the stream, just look up my call sign on YouTube, and It's all set up to go. Well, it's all working now. It wasn't working at the start, actually, but we're right to go. All right, well, let's have a listen to this. Joe Finger's car, and it's a slow start. These turntables are getting a bit old. Let's have a listen.
Know the feeling.
She's sweeter than the music when she tickles the strings, sweeter than the flowers down in New Orleans. She's a music maker mama from Memphis, Tennessee. She'll play a little rhythm to the boogie upright, the Tennessee polka, maybe blues in the night. Everybody travels from far and near to hear her when she plays the old piano by ear. She's a music maker mama from Memphis, Tennessee. Singing and a picking on her old guitar. You ought to hear the words roll out of her mouth. Everybody's calling her the queen of the South. She's a guitar-playing mama from Memphis, Tennessee. You gotta start her dancing when she gets in the groove. Picks a big bass fiddle or she yodel the blues. Plays the downbeat, offbeat, any old beat. A breakdown, hold down, does it up neat. She's a rhythm making mama from Memphis, Tennessee. Don't know when my baby is coming to town. All the time jumping jitterbugs gather around. Take the gallon to my sweetie now, honey, let's go. My baby starts a picking and a picking down low. She's a music making mama from Memphis, Tennessee. She'll play a little rhythm to the boogie upright. The Tennessee polka is the blues in the night. Everybody travels from far and near to hear her when she plays the old piano by ear. She's a music making mama from Memphis, Tennessee.
There you go. Sort of almost early rock and roll fare, that record. That bit of slight hillbilly feel. What would you call it, Frank? That style. Bluegrass? No, not bluegrass. It's anyhow early rock and roll style. Let's have a look. Here we go. Another boogie woogie record here, and it's Lionel Hampton and his orchestra.
I'm sorry, Steve. I changed frequency inadvertently.
No, it's fine. Well, what would you call that style? It's sort of it's one of those hybrid 50s sort of commercial sounds, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a honky-tonky derived thing. With a fair bit of 50s sort of commercial spin on it.
Yeah, it certainly does. Yeah, it's got that lacquer, that 50s lacquer on it.
It has.
Yes. It's not really, it's out of my past band. I really don't know anything about music like that. But anyhow, we've got to put one in every so often.
Oh, yeah.
Because these records have to be played. So, yeah, look, we'll go back a couple of decades. And this one also has Boogie Woogie in the title. And it's Hamp's Boogie Woogie. It's Lionel Hampton and his orchestra. So I reckon we'll have a listen to this. It's an old Brunswick.
He lived to be very old.
He did, didn't he? He lasted quite a long time.
Especially for a jazz musician.
Absolutely. Yeah, he must have had good habits.
One of the very few.
Yeah. Yeah, high octane. That's got a lot of energy. What a group. Lionel Hampton's band, and that was Hamps, Boogie Woogie. And yeah, I think the record looks older than what it is. It looks like an early 30s Brunswick, but that's certainly not early 30s. That's late 30s or early 40s, I'd say.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's got that great swing vibe. There's quite a lot of Lionel Hampton in this box. Here's a track called Chasin' with Chase. I think it features Lionel on the drums rather than on the vibes. So we'll give this one a listen.
I'm just going to disappear for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, no worries.
I've got to negotiate the takeaway tonight.
Absolutely, definitely. Most important. We had fried rice the other night. And,
Very nice.
And it gets a big tick, as far as I'm concerned.
I think we're going for the unhealthy fish and chip option tonight.
Very good. Enjoy.
That's the way to go.
There you go. That was have a look. I should know. Lionel Hampton, isn't it? It's Lionel Hampton and Chasin' with Chase. It's off an old HMV. They're great, these records, these swing records from the 1930s, and we're just sampling the collection here. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just sort of happening stuff, and it's good to give these records an airing and find out what they sound like. A lot of these bands, as I said, they're slightly out of my past band, so interesting to sort of hear what works and what doesn't. There's quite a few that don't, but yeah, that's okay. Well, let's have a listen to the Havana Novelty Orchestra. And this goes back to around about 1930. It's an oldie. But yeah, let's give it a Guernsey. And something with a bit of Cuban vibe. vk3sl.
you sing your song of sing, I'm a sinner too. Lady, when you play for me, night turns into day for me, and though angels pray for me, I belong to you. Senorita, sweet Chiquita, I could eat your heart. Lady, play your mandolin. Lady, sing your song of sin. Though I fear you, let me hear you play, play your mandolin.
And we have a malfunctione. I have to admit that record was off the tube, and we have one of our regular internet breaks. So sorry about that, folks. I was getting into the Havana Novelty Orchestra. Never mind. Well, that sort of cans my next one as well. I had a vintage Japanese record. All right, we'll have to do a lucky dip. When all fails, I was just having a break from the 78s, and we will just go reach over behind me into the box, and we pull one out. And what is it? Here's a tango. Here we go. Carmenita. All right, we'll put this one on instead. See what happens. VK3SL, these are the test missions. There's just a meander of sorts. We're just playing 78s on the airwaves to fill a gap and to provide some tone tests for those who want to test their receivers. That's the name of the game. And if you want to be entertained, you can go to YouTube and find me as a dedicated YouTube channel, vk3sl, and there is a companion blog spot as well if you want to find out what this magic is all about. vk3sl.blogspot.com. And just a reminder that we are also engaging in further missions later on tonight from 11:30, and around about midnight I'll usher Frank into the fold, and we'll have a good old chat about some of the latest nostalgia offerings or discoveries. I think we might do a special on Harriet Cohen tonight. I was really taken by... I've been reading a bit about Harriet Cohen, and she was amazing. Everyone who met her fell for her. It's just incredible. She had so many close associates, lots of amorous liaisons. And but it was not frivolous. They were just entranced by her. And I have to say, even this interview with her when she's quite old, she still has the magic. She's still got the charm. And yeah, we'll listen to that a bit later on. In the meantime, let's have a listen to this track and something vaguely South American. And that's it. There isn't any more. That was an interrupted cadence. Just trying to get the system working here. We've had a bit of a Wi-Fi blackout. So hopefully we'll be up and running soon. No, I think I must have tripped over a lead or something and pulled off the Wi-Fi. I think that's what's happened. It looks like we're back on board. Shall we do a take 2 on the Havana Novelty Orchestra? I quite like that record. I reckon we can give it another go. And it gives me a chance to sort a few things. So, back to 1930, vk3sl.
Lady, let that tune begin. When you sing your song of sing, I'm a sinner too. Lady, when you play for me, night turns into day for me. And though angels pray for me, I belong to you. Senorita, sweet Chiquita, I could eat your heart out. Lady, play your mandolin. Lady, sing your song of sin. Though I fear you, let me hear you play, play your mandolin.
It's good. Yeah, I quite like that South American vibe. It's a little bit synthesized and refined and sanitized, but yeah, it's characterful. Yeah,
Still good. Well, I've ordered the Sinful Fish and Chips.
Oh, very good. Well done. Well done. That's it's obligatory. You've got to do that. You've got to have your Friday night special.
Oh, yes. In fact, they're being picked up as we speak.
Ah, excellent. All right. So you've... well, it's good. We can still do these sort of things. We have our little luxuries.
I think so. I think it's very important in times of extra stress, you know.
Yeah, totally. No, I think we've been certainly doing a lot more in the takeaway steaks, and it's been quite a good thing, really. It's given us given a bit of a choice about what they're special.
I heard someone say the other day, it takes the pressure off her indoors.
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Did you Did you ever see Minder?
I used to see. I remember watching Minder years ago. Yes, with Dennis Waterman.
Yes, and
Yeah.
and what was his name?
Oh, yes, I can't remember his
Arthur
name.
Daly.
Arthur, yes,
And
Arthur
he
Daly.
used to talk about her indoors.
Erin Dawes, he did too. I do remember that.
It's
Yeah.
so politically un-PC.
Oh, totally, absolutely un-PC. But of course, that's the way it was, and that had a real rawness to it. That show.
Sure did.
Yeah, raw energy, and it was that gritty British humour from that time.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, it was good, really good value.
Derailed the musical train, so
Yeah, it's fine. Well, I was trying to find some Cuban music actually, because I sort of was feeling a bit inspired by that. I really liked it.
there's a terrific group called the Lackawanna Cuban Boys.
Yes, they're the ones. I was looking for one of their. There's that group, and there's the Havana Yacht Club Boys, and there's Armando Rus. But I think Armando Rus was actually in London, but that's another story.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a great Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers film, the very first one they made, which is Flying Down to Rio. It's one where they do all of they do these great dances on the wings of biplanes while they're flying.
Oh, wow.
And it's just hilarious. It's just so out there. It's a wonderful film, and it's very it's pre-code, and it's got lots of double entendres and quite risque element to it. Actually,
Right.
It's incredible. And the women are flying on the planes with the doing the acrobatics are not wearing much underneath, and you can certainly tell.
The wind does what it's intended to.
It does, exactly, and they got away with it, which is just incredible. You look at especially with high res sort of modern films where they take them off the negatives, and you see absolutely everything. It's amazing.
It's that heady mixture of eroticism and danger.
Yes, absolutely. It's so clever. It's so pointed, and it's perfectly calibrated. Yeah, that film's a wonderful film because they do the karaoke. And it's a track that goes for about 20 minutes, and it features about 3 different performances, including an authentic South American group, which is just with thumb pianos and everything. And I mean, this is 1931, 32. It's pretty early.
That's amazing, isn't it?
And it's got a fabulous energy. It's wonderful. I might see if I can find the soundtrack and put it on. Of just that bit of it, because it's just so tremendous. And it's the karaoke. Well, look, before doing that, I've just found a Glenn Gray record, which I've never heard, and I'd just like to have a sample of.
That's good.
So we'll put that one on the thing, and I'll see if I can dial up the karaoke after that.
Then there's the Bella Vista Social Club.
Oh, yes. Well, that's another story. That's a really interesting. Ry Cooder, of course, rediscovered them and made that wonderful film, and about rediscovering these amazing musicians who had all had careers in the 40s and 50s.
Indeed.
And brought them all back together.
You should play them one night.
I should. I've got several of their CDs here. So, yeah, that's a great theme. And I will definitely have to hear some Buena Vista Social Club. It's just... It's a wonderful vibe. Oh, it makes me want to go to Cuba.
Same.
Oh, well. Okay, well, let's have a little sample of Glenn Gray, and then I'll see if I can find something that's authentically, well, maybe not, but partially authentically Cuban.
a memory, my echo, my shadow and me. We three, we're not a crowd, we're not even company, my echo, my shadow and me. What good is the moonlight, the silvery moonlight that shines above? I walk with my shadow, I talk with my echo, but where is the one I love? We three will wait for you, even till eternity, my echo, my shadow and me.
Don't know who the vocalist is on that record. It's Glenn Ray in the orchestra. I was just wondering what that record was all about. And it sort of figured as a bit of a stopgap because I'm dialing up the karaoke and hoping to have a listen to some, well, I won't say it's authentic South American fare, but it's in that sort of league.
Pretty good.
Yeah, so we'll see if we can find it here. What's happening here? My history file is not working. It's gone into some sort of... okay, all right, well, we'll have to just stand on by and see if we can find it through another system.
Wasn't Fred Astaire in that?
Yes, he was.
In fact, he got to, obviously to sing the lead song.
Yes, it's got Etta Moten singing in this, who, of course, was the original Bess from Porgy and Bess. And she got the in this one. I don't think this is the very, very first film. Yeah, we've lost the damn internet again.
Oh no,
that's the problem. Not to worry. We'll have to just put this on hold and maybe we can play it. Oh, here we go. Maybe. We'll see. I can't get the karaoke yet, but it looks like waiting. It's all sort of a bit of an unknown quantity at the moment. So
it's song called the karaoke, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called the karaoke, and it's just really a great song. If I can find it, but everything is gone into some sort of altered state. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll put something else on while I'll turn this record over. Maybe it's got an upbeat song on the other side. Maybe not. Busy as a Bee. Decca Dance Orchestra. Well, it's evidently a pseudonym for some other group. And it's from the 1930s. We'll put this on and see if I can make sense of the situation here. vk3sl.
As a bee, I'm buzzing, buzzing the neighbors and breaking the news. Babbling like a brook, I'm babbling. Gather together the rights old shoes. Busy as a bee, I'm buzzing, spreading the wedding all over town. Bidding all the boys a big bye-bye. Me and my honey are settling down. Oh, you put a certain sound in my heart. It's sweet music that I hear with you. Buzzing all around in my heart, I know heaven is near. We've got everybody and his cousin talking it over and making a fuss. Busy as a bee, they're buzz, buzz, buzzing. Happy, so happy it happened to us.
Quickly put the headphones on, and
I like that. I like that more than the other side.
yeah, so did I. Absolutely, that was good. Decca Dance Orchestra. It says so. Obviously, it's someone's moved beyond their contractual obligations.
Yes, that's right. Hence the name.
Yeah, it's probably Betty Goodman's band Helen Forrest or something. Yes, it just says Decca Dance Orchestra with vocal chorus. That's what it says on the record.
She was very good.
Yeah, she was.
She had a beautiful voice.
Yeah, she did. She had a lovely voice. Yeah. Well, I've been able to dial this up, and a warm hello to Mr. W. He's been listening to some Harriet Cohen, and we'll talk about that tonight. We'll probably have quite a program on Harriet, and
FN.
Yeah, and there's some wonderful, there's some wonderful recordings of her playing Bach, and which is just timeless playing, really.
Superb.
Yeah, and Wayne says he was listening to the Goldberg Variations. With Mr. Gould as well. So yeah, it's great. Look, I think the great thing about classical music is that it's no right or wrong way to listen to it. It's a very personal thing, and everyone has their own way of sort of connecting with the music, and it's I think it's a really important message, because I think a lot of people think classical music is something, it's highbrow, and you have to have a certain sensibility and a certain level of education and all this sort of bullshit.
Yeah, quite,
And it's nothing like that at all. It's something, it's just organised sound with a particular, set of variables and styles and references, and, we can all experience it in our own way. And
I get the feeling, without really having experienced it, that Europeans have a more sort of civilized attitude to classical music.
Yeah, I think they're probably a little bit more, it's sort of more in their DNA, isn't it? Sort of more.
I guess that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's more omnipresent. They hear it all the time in schools, but I just think the most important message is that, it's attainable for everyone. You don't have to have a particular sort of set of attitudes and things. So, it's good. It's really nice to hear of Wayne's observations about listening to music, and
certainly is.
And I think everyone, it's something we can all experience without any baggage. Really, it's good, and I find I just love letting music just wash over me. It's like sitting in a really warm, lying in the edge of the sea on a tropical beach somewhere, and letting the waves just sort of lap over you. It's like a
Great
beautiful,
feeling.
like a warm bath.
I know.
That's the way I see it, and and it can be just so. In lots of ways which we don't fully understand. It can be an emotional and mental cleanser, I think, and it's a good thing. Yay! All right. Well, we'll definitely play some Harriet Cohen tonight, and there's some wonderful I listened to her play some Bach last night, and it was absolutely timeless. It was some of the most beautiful Bach playing. It was very unaffected, and not sort of. It wasn't too constructed. It was just very naturally felt, and I thought it was just terrific. So we'll definitely we'll keep that for tonight, and I look forward to listening to the full interview as well with her. So yeah, for the moment, look, let's have a listen to some of this, a couple of segments from this film, Flying Down to Rio. A film came out in the early 1930s, and it featured Dolores de Rio and Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. They were both their first film, and they were very much a second act in the film. Had other players who were sort of more at the forefront. But it does feature this great it's all set in Rio de Janeiro, and then Miami. But but the sequence on the dance floor with the South American music is just so full of such a wonderful vibe. So
the tea has arrived, so I'd better.
Okay.
I'll listen from afar.
No worries at all. Look forward to chatting tonight. I'll send out a Zoom link around about midnight or-ish.
Fine, likewise.
Excellent. Okay. No worries. Catch you soon, Frank.
See you soon.
Yeah, and so we'll now have a listen to Flying Down to Rio, the karaoke. We'll listen to karaoke, not karaoke, karaoke. We'll listen to one part of it.
Not a foxtrot or a polka, got a little bit of new rhythm, a blues and the sun. It's got a meter that is tricky, a better wicked whack-a-wicky. But when you dance it with your new love, that'll be true love in her eyes. You're gonna dream of a new karaoke. Its theme is a kiss and a sigh. I'll say you're gonna dream of a new karaoke. When music and lights are gone and you're saying goodbye.
Boy, no wonder it never gets cold in this country. Kinda hot. Let's try a little of that, babe.
Now that you've done the karaoke, you never care to do the polka. And then you realize that blue hula and bamboo all through. Tomorrow morning you'll discover it's the karaoke love. And when you dance it with each new love, that'll be true love just for you. You're gonna dream about the new karaoke. It's this, it's the kiss and the sigh. I'll say you can dream about the new karaoke. When music lights are gone, you just said
Now, after that, it gets interesting. That's the sort of the opening. And some of the most amazing dancing from that period, in the sense that it was highly eroticized and something you didn't really see in a lot of romantic. It's like the Mardi Gras, really. There's a lot of raw energy and really just, it's got to be seen to be believed that those dance sequences. Now, then, after that, the band come on, the South American band in the film come on, and they do their bit. So we'll listen to them.
If that's all these fellas can do, we're a cinch. Our band will be a sensation.
Got something.
They have.
This stuff is swell, but we can't do it.
So that's the karaoke.
What's this business about the foreheads?
Mental telepathy.
I can tell what they're thinking about from here. The trick is to keep your mind a blank.
With that music?
Oh, Freddie, is my mind red?
Our stuff can't top this.
I guess Roger's gotten us in bad again.
Gonna be a long walk back home from here.
Just how much does it cost to get home from here?
Home nothing. I'd like to try this thing just once. Come on, honey.
We'll show them a thing or three.
There we go. A segment from Flying Down to Rio, a film featuring Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Came out in the early 30s, and yeah, it's quite a treat. There's actually a 20-minute segment. It's got 2 vocal choruses and about 4 dance sequences. We just heard a couple of them then, and it's really charged, which is quite fascinating for that time. It's a pre-code film, so the Hays Code came in and sort of struck out films like that. They were completely considered to be subversive and affected the public good, which was a terrible mistake. And it wasn't until the 1970s or late 60s that you could see a belly button on screen. It's bizarre to think that the Hays Code had that conservative element had such a lasting effect on Hollywood movies. But in the late 1920s, early 30s, they had some outrageous films, and that is no exception. It's got to be seen to be believed. And interesting that earlier on, the vocalist was Etta Motan. Now, she was the original Bess in Porgy and Bess. Remarkable singer. And she lived to be 104. So it's pretty remarkable to think that she was around until fairly recently. So Etta Motan, who was the vocalist we heard earlier. And it has another vocal chorus later on in the sequence, and that's... what's her name? Movita Castaneda. That's right, Movita Castaneda. Now, she was a Mexican actress, and she lived to be over 100 too. In fact, she was alive until fairly recently. And she has a vocal chorus as well, and she's just so seductive, amazing. So, yeah, it's hard to sort of get the full effect when you're listening to it on the radio, but it's a film I certainly commend. It's amazing. The very opening of the film actually features a teenage Ginger Rogers, and she's singing... also, a song at the start. Is it here? I think I've got it here. I have it here somewhere, maybe. Yes, here it is. And the words of this are also pretty out there. And this sort of, again, a sign of the time. So if you listen to what Ginger's singing about, it's, again, it's pre-code fervour. vk3sl.
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Roger Bond presenting his Yankee Clippers direct from the date grove of the Hotel Hibiscus at Miami, Florida. We offer for your pleasure as our first selection, Music Makes Me, with a complete vocalization by that charming, bubbling, effervescent little lady, Miss Honey Hale. Contact.
It seems a sin I've got to give in, syncopated time. It makes me lose my dignity, it makes me lose my poise. Some folks call it music, my folks call it noise. I like music, old and new. What music makes me do the things I never should do. Oh, I like music, sweet and blue. What music makes me do the things I never should do. My self-control was something to brag about. Now it's a gag about town. The things I do are never forgiven, and just when I'm living them down. I hear music, then I'm through, 'cause music makes me do the things I never should do. I like music, I like it old, I like it new, but it makes me do the things I never should do. I like music, I like it sweet, I like it blue, but it makes me do the things I never should do. My self-control was something to brag about, now it's a gag about town. The things I do are never forgiven, and just when I'm living them down. I hear music, then I'm through, 'cause music makes me do things I never should do. When I hear
fight the job that feeds you.
Just what am I doing?
That Swiss bell ringer is on the level about not fooling with the cash customers. Uh-oh. Hold your hats, boys. Here we go again. The Latin type.
An abrupt ending there. Sorry about that, folks. The song goes for another 10 minutes. These are just snippets. Off Y2, how off YT, snippets of Flying Down to Rio, and it has this amazing sequence at the end where all the girls are doing acrobatics on the wings of biplanes with big fans revealing a lot of curves. Now, I'm looking for the playlist here of the journey into space, and we'll have a listen now to our next installment of Operation Lunar. So, if we can find this, we will commence. Won't take long, we've just got to dial it in, and then we'll have a listen to that, and we'll finish with our usual Operation Hurricane. Yes, the Montebello nuclear experiment with Chester Wilmot giving an inimitable and foreboding description of the nuclear test. And I always find someone in the family to descend upon at that point of the explosion. All right, we'll finish off now. Thank you for your indulgence. Stay tuned or listen in tonight at 11:30, and we'll have more missions then. This is VK3SL. This has been a test session on 160 and also on UHF. And we'll now have a listen to the next installment of Journey into Space.
Journey into Space. The BBC presents Jet Morgan in Operation Lunar. Jet Morgan and the crew of rocket ship Lunar took off from the moon, intending to return to the Earth. But on the far side of the moon, which they were photographing prior to heading for home, they saw a number of strange spacecraft which took off and pursued them. Then Jet and his crew lost consciousness to awake and find that they'd left the solar system entirely and were hurtling through space at an unimaginable speed. After a little while, they noticed that the ship had slowed down, and then there appeared on the televiewer screen an image of a planet which they were rapidly approaching.
It has an atmosphere, no doubt about that.
Yes, but what's it composed of? Methane, ammonia, or what? Well, the chances of its being air are 1,000,000 to 1 against.
But it's a planet, an island in a limitless ocean, and we're heading straight for it at a speed at which we might be able to control the ship. It's a chance in 1,000,000, our only hope.
You mean you're going to attempt a landing on it?
Why not? If we're going to die anyway, it might as well be on that, whatever it is out here in nothing.
But it's so far away from home.
No further than we'll ever be. This is our one chance of survival.
Yeah, but we've no idea what's on it, who's on it. We might even be wrecked and end up as a sort of space family Robinson.
What do you say, Mitch? Shall we try it?
I'm all for taking the chance. Let's try to land.
Doc?
Me too. I suppose if I say I'm not, I'll be considered overruled?
Yes.
I'm overruled.
All right. Landing procedure will be the same as it would have been for landing on Earth.
With the aid of the atmosphere?
How else?
But it may not be dense enough to afford the necessary braking power.
That we'll find out. But we'll try it just the same. Open up the pilot's cabin, Doc. I'm going in.
Okay.
Mitch, get to the radar. See if you can calculate our speed and height from the planet.
Yeah.
And Lemmy, stay with the televiewer. If you notice anything odd about that planet as we get closer to it, give a yell.
What else? Pilot cabin door. Contact. Hey, Jet.
Yes, Lemmy?
Look at this.
What?
Oh, see it? Sort of brilliant reflection at the top, like custard over a Christmas pudding.
Ice.
Eh?
An ice cap. Like the North and South Poles on the Earth, but bigger, much bigger.
What does that mean?
Well, it means that the overall temperature is much cooler on the whole. And in that particular region, way below freezing point.
Well, we can't land there then, can we?
No, but nearer the equator, it'll be warmer. Our safest bet would be to land somewhere between the equator and the pole.
Seem to be a lot of cloud areas. Thick, too.
Yes, all to the good. At least that indicates that there's moisture down there.
Water?
I hope so. If it isn't... All right, Doc. I'll get into the pilot's seat. As soon as I'm settled, I'll go over to intercom.
Right.
Well, that's peculiar, but most fortunate.
Well, what is, Mitch?
Well, so far as I can calculate, we're about 17,000 miles above the surface of that planet.
Uh-huh.
And our speed is approaching 10,000 miles per hour. And that's exactly what our height and speed would have been now if we were approaching the Earth after taking off from the moon.
Except that it would have taken us more than 4 days to get this far instead of just an hour or so.
Hello, Doc. Now settled in. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, Mitch?
Yes. Estimated distance of surface is 17,000 miles. Speed 10,000 miles per hour.
What? But that's just what it would be if...
If we were approaching Earth, I know. I just explained that to Doc.
Yeah, I suppose this couldn't be the Earth, could it?
How could it?
Well, it seems to have land and water and clouds and ice caps.
I wish we could think it was, Lemmy. But the ice caps on Earth are nothing like the size of that one.
It isn't the Earth, that's certain. But from here, it looks as though our best bet for landing will be to treat it as though it were. Get to your posts and stand by for landing procedure.
Yeah, okay, Jet.
Right. I'll try to estimate our acceleration rate and...
Hey, listen.
Huh?
Oh, it's here again. That music. Those ships must be around somewhere.
Yeah, I can hear it too.
Yes, so can I.
Jet, do you hear it?
Yes, Doc.
Can you see them? Are they out there?
No, I can't, but my view's limited. I can't see behind.
Stern view. Switch on the stern view.
Stern view, on.
There they are. And still in that circular formation.
Oh, now what are they up to? Are they going to try and turn us away from here, too? Ruin our only chance?
Can you see them?
Yes, Jet. They're directly behind us.
Why don't they leave us alone?
Jet, you better come out of that cabin, quick. If we're going to accelerate again, and you're sitting in there, the pressure could break your neck.
Don't worry, Mitch. I'm on my way out.
Doc, Lemmy, get to your bunks. Lie down.
Yeah, they ain't catching me this time.
Are they still there, Mitch?
Yeah, look.
Well, get onto your bunk, Mitch. We'll leave the televiewer on, trained on those ships.
Yeah.
If nothing has happened by the time we're close enough to that planet to go into orbit, we'll go. Ships or no ships.
Yeah, well, I'll keep checking our speed. Let you know when we have to take action.
Well, they're still there. They don't seem to be getting any closer.
Hey, what the...
What's up, Mitch?
Our speed, it's just the same. It isn't increasing at all.
But it must do. The gravity pull of that planet must be drawing us down towards it. The speed must increase.
I tell you, it's not, Jet. It's still 10,000. It hasn't changed since the last check.
What is going on? What are they doing to us? And how can they do it?
Beats me. They must have control over powers we don't even know exist.
They're coming in closer now, and fast, too.
Eh?
Yeah, look at them. Just like before, as though they were going to attack us.
And why don't they get it over with?
Hey, something's happened. Gravity's returning. Can you feel it?
I don't know. It's not quite like that. It's a kind of... Well, the pressure seems to be outward, towards the wall.
And getting stronger.
Hang on. Get your backs to the wall, if you can.
Oh, I'm trying. Oh, I can hardly move.
Everybody all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Anybody black out?
Not me.
No, me.
Hey, they've gone again. There's no sign of them.
What?
Yeah. Look for yourself, Jet.
I can't see... Yeah, wait a minute. What's that? At the bottom of the screen.
It's a light. Some kind of light.
Look, it's rising higher.
Good Lord, it's the planet. We've already broken through its atmosphere and we're traveling parallel to its surface.
But if we're that close, we must be falling towards it as well. We're likely to crash.
Get to the radar, Mitch. See if you can estimate our height. And, Doc, open up the cabin again.
Right.
Well, that solves the problem of how we land. We'll probably hit the ground so hard it'll take a month to dig us out.
As soon as Mitch has got the facts and figures, let me have them over the intercom.
You bet.
Good heavens.
What is it, Jet?
The wings, they're red hot. The whole ship must be glowing.
Well, how red?
Just enough to notice, but they're glowing all right. We must have entered the atmosphere at about 15,000 miles an hour. And we can't be doing much less than that now.
Hello, Jet.
Yes, Mitch?
Estimated height 50 miles. Speed 14,500.
Right, I'll hold it at 50 miles high. The atmosphere's resistance will keep slowing us down, and with luck, we will make a safe landing. At least we're the right way up and on a steady course.
Where are we now?
Just over the ice cap, heading for the pole.
Let's hope we don't have to land on the ice.
We're going too fast for that. We'll be well on our way towards the equator before we're anywhere near slow enough to land.
You think we'll make it? Safely, I mean.
We can only hope. Meanwhile, you'd better convert the couches to sitting position. As soon as you've done that, train the televiewer on the surface directly below us. Between us, we can select a good landing place, if there is one.
Estimated height 15 miles. Speed 750.
Check.
Your indicators say the same?
Yes, Mitch.
Well, we seem to have left the ice behind, passing over water now.
Can you see any land, Jet?
No, I can't.
Well, there is plenty. We saw it.
There's plenty of sea, too. We're bound to have to pass a... Hey!
What is it, Jet?
I can see land now, I think. Slightly to port. I'm going to turn, head towards it.
What's it look like? Flat or what?
I can't tell from here, but you'll soon be able to see for yourselves.
Height 30,000. Speed 180.
Check.
Oh, blimey. Don't look very friendly, does it? About as good a spot for landing as the Himalayas. Well, what if it's all like this? A planet of mountains.
Do you see any end to them, Jet?
No, Mitch, they stretch clear to the horizon.
But there must be a flat part somewhere.
Well, meanwhile, we're losing speed and height with every second. Some of them mountains, well, they must be 20,000 feet high. We'll hit them for sure, unless we cut in the motor and rise up again.
Well, it may come to that.
But it'll be such a waste of fuel.
So what difference does it make? We're never going to take off again anyway.
We're losing height rapidly, Jet, and speed too. We can't keep going much longer.
Then we'll cut in the motor. I'll lift our nose and gain height.
Right, Jet. Now, just a short burst on low power. Let me know when you're ready.
We'll get it up to 500. Stand by.
Standing by.
Contact.
Contact.
Speed 120. 130. 140. 490. 500. Cut. Well, that feels better. Teleview is still going?
Yes.
Then take a look at the country below us. Tell me what you think.
There certainly seems to be some kind of green substance on the valley floor.
Is it grass?
I wouldn't like to say from this height.
Could be a kind of moss or lichen.
Is that good?
Well, it shows that there's some kind of life can exist down there.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, but it may be the only kind of life.
Oh? These mountains are high, Doc. That's about the only kind of life that could survive on them. Maybe there are more advanced forms lower down.
Always supposing there is a lower down. If you ask me, this planet is nothing but mountains and sea.
Hey, Mitch, Doc, Lemmy, there's a great stretch of flat country ahead.
Are you sure, Jet?
Of course I'm sure.
Well, what does it look like?
Is there anything growing on it?
Well, I can only see it in little patches. There's lots of clouds, stacks of it. If there's anywhere we can land, I think it's there.
What? With the clouds obscuring the view? What if it stretches right down to the surface?
It doesn't. I can see the ground, I tell you. If we point the nose down, we could get under that cloud and see what lies below. How about it? Shall we try?
Oh, why not? If there's any chance of landing, so far as I'm concerned, the sooner the better.
Yeah, me too.
And me.
Right, here we go.
Oh, it's flat, all right. Well, fairly flat. We could make a landing here, couldn't we?
Sure we could. If it weren't for that forest, we can't land on treetops.
No sign of any clearing.
Not even way ahead?
No, but visibility isn't all that good. The cloud's thicker and lower than I thought.
Can you keep under it without hitting the deck, I mean?
I think so, for some miles anyway.
Then keep going. We might spot something.
Mitch, check the height and speed, will you?
Yeah, height 2,000 feet, speed 90.
It's no good. Nothing but trees.
We'll have to rise again, get above this cloud, find somewhere else.
No.
Hold on a minute.
What is it?
There's a gap. As if a great area of the forest has been cleared and cultivated.
What?
It's true, Doc. And there's a river in front of us, running at right angles to our line of flight. All the cultivation is along its banks.
You mean fields?
Well, you could even call them that.
Can you see a place to land?
Now it's raining, absolutely teeming down.
Oh, blimey.
Can you see a place to land?
There are plenty of places, but we're going too fast at the moment. I'll have to circle and keep circling until we've slowed down.
We'll be careful, Jet. Don't put us down in the river, please.
Turning. Speed is now 70. I'm going to straighten up for the run-in.
Is it still raining?
Oh, raining buckets full. Visibility's about down to 0.
Well, then take it easy, Jet. We don't want to hit anything, not at this stage.
Coming in now.
Height 1,000 feet.
Straight run.
900 feet.
Let's hope the ground's firm and can support our weight.
800.
You better brace yourselves. Get into your chairs.
700.
Come on, Lemmy. It might be quite a shock.
Don't you think I know it?
Strap yourself in.
500.
Doing it.
400. 300.
Nearly there.
200.
Stand by.
100.
Here it comes.
Oh, blimey, Jet.
Sorry, she bounced. Here we go again. Touching down. Now.
What's happening? We're going to crash, I know it.
Shut up, Lemmy. Just hold on. Well, we made it. We're down.
And all in one piece. We're here.
Yes, Lemmy. Heaven knows where we are, but we're here.
You all right back there? Sorry for the bump, but it was no concrete runway we landed on.
We're fine, Jet. How about you?
Oh, I'm all right.
Hold on. I'm coming up to the cabin to take a look out.
Me too.
And me.
Come on, then. Not that you can see much with this rain falling.
Blimey, I'll say it's raining. Do you suppose it's always like this here? Rains all the time?
How should I know? I'm a stranger here.
Well, it just goes to prove that life on other planets must be fundamentally much the same as on Earth. Green vegetation, a river, clouds, rain.
Just like home, innit? Only much wetter.
I wonder if there's any kind of animal life.
It must be.
Eh?
How else could those plots of vegetation grow like that? They're too regular, too uniform to have grown that way naturally.
What, you mean some kind of animal planted them?
Why not?
Who ever heard of such a thing? No animal would know how to begin. Wouldn't have a clue.
Well, what's your theory?
Humans. Only human beings would know how to cultivate.
The only type of human beings we can imagine are like ourselves, and we came from the Earth.
Ah, yes, but
according to your theory, there must be human beings here.
Whoa!
Well, if there are, or animals for that matter, with a similar type of intelligence, surely they must live somewhere. Where are their houses? Their cities, even? There's no sign of them.
But these fields along the river bank, the systematic way in which the forest has been cleared, it can't be natural. It just can't.
Then what's the answer?
Well, maybe their homes are miles from here, and they travel by boat along the river.
A good guess, but wide of the mark, I'm sure.
Well, only trying to help.
Do you think that stuff down there is good to eat?
Huh?
Well, our food isn't going to last forever, Jet. Now we're here, we have to eat, if we hope to survive.
And drink. Can we drink that water? Or will it poison us?
Can we breathe the air? Is it air?
It may not even be safe to step outside the ship.
Gentlemen, I don't know where we are, what planet this is we've landed on, or in what part of the universe it's located. But the fact remains, it looks as though we're going to be here till the end of our days. And if we remain in the ship, our days are numbered to less than 5.
And if we step outside, we may not live 5 minutes.
But if there is air out there, and food and water...
We'll have to put it to the test.
How?
Somebody will have to go out there and try it.
Go out? Isn't there some other way?
What?
Well, whoever goes, No, there's no other way that I can think of.
We'll draw lots for it.
How'll we get out?
Through the airlock.
Yeah, but the moment we open the main door, whatever atmosphere is out there will rush in and fill up the vacuum.
And next time we use the airlock, it'll enter the ship, and if it's poisonous...
If it is poisonous, we won't be using the airlock again anyway. Whoever's left in won't be wanting to get out.
I'm not so sure about that. I think I'd rather be poisoned out there and get it over with and die of suffocation in here in 5 days' time.
Let's get back to the main cabin. We'll draw lots, and then one of us will go out and make the test.
Hatch closing.
Let us know when your helmet is fixed, and we'll exhaust the airlock then.
Helmet fastened. Over to intercom.
All right, Doc. Exhaust the airlock.
Airlock. Exhaust.
Suit now inflating.
Air pressure 0.
All right, Doc. Open the door. Let's get out there.
Look, Lemmy, wait a minute. Why not let me go out?
Oh, fair. I won the draw, didn't I? Open her up. I'm going out.
We'll do as he says, Doc.
But take it easy. Just ease the door enough to break the vacuum.
Yeah.
Let that air, or whatever it is out there, come in as slowly as possible.
Right. Main door. Stand by. How's that, Lemmy?
Yeah, the suit, it's gone all flappy.
Oh, it will. As the air, or whatever it is, comes in from outside, it'll equalize the pressure.
Oh, well, but it'll be a lot easier to move anyway.
Maximum pressure.
She must be full now.
And open the door properly. Let's get out and get this over with.
Main door. Contact.
This is vk3sl testing.
Put out the ladder, Doc. Let's see how it feels down on terra firma.
Ladder. Contact.
Well, here I go. I'll go round to the ship's nose so you can all see me through the pilot's window.
How is it to walk, Lemmy?
It's not walking that worries me. It's how long I'm going to be able to. I'm now going round.
All right, Lemmy. We'll be watching for you. And good luck.
Thanks, Jet.
There he is. Just coming into view. Talk to him, Jet.
Hello, Lemmy. We can see you. You all right?
I'll tell you in just a few minutes. I know one thing.
What?
I should have brought an umbrella. I'm going to get my hair wet when I take the helmet off.
Oh, never mind that. Remember what we told you.
Loosen your helmet first. If you feel no ill effects, lift it slightly. Take a shallow breath, and if that's okay, take a bigger one.
And if it isn't?
And fasten up your helmet, increase your oxygen supply, and breathe deeply.
Right. Now, here I go. I'm fastening helmet. Helmet loose.
Well, Lemmy, can you breathe all right?
Oh, sorry, Jet. I wasn't trying. I was holding my breath, but I'll do it this time. Removing helmet slightly. Now.
Now, lower your helmet, quick.
Too late. It's lowered.
How do you feel?
Well, it's all right. Up to now, anyway.
You sure?
No, I ain't.
It's air. It must be air.
The effects might be delayed.
I'll have another go now. Take a deeper breath this time. Removing helmet. Oh, feels all right.
Thank goodness for that.
No peculiar sensations?
No.
You sure, Lemmy?
Sure, I'm sure. In fact, I think I'll take the helmet right off.
No, wait.
Too late. He's done it.
I can breathe. Without the helmet, I can breathe. The first good, clean breath of fresh air for nearly a month. Oh, air, beautiful air.
Christ, what's come over him? He's dancing.
The oxygen content must be too high. It's making him too lively.
Or else it's poisonous.
Lemmy, put your helmet on, do you hear?
He's taking his suit off now.
Must be air. Lemmy, what on earth are you doing?
I'm going to take a shower.
A shower?
In the rain. Don't you realise it? It's nearly a month since any of us have had any kind of a bath.
But isn't it cold out there, Lemmy?
I wouldn't know. To me, it feels like a warm spring day on Earth. And now I'm here, I'm going to make the best of it. Here, why don't you come in? The water's lovely.
Well, why don't we, Jet? Either it's all right or it isn't. I wouldn't mind standing in that rain myself. In fact, the idea appeals to me very much.
Yeah, let's get out there, all of us. We're probably going to be here the rest of our lives. We might as well get used to it. Come on.
All right, open the hatch, Doc, and let's get out there.
Do we take the suits?
Suits? What do we need suits for? There's life on this planet. Life very much as we know it. So let's go out and say hello to it just as we are.
It is now nearly a week since we landed on this planet, and Lemmy left the ship and found the atmosphere breathable. Since then, we have discovered many other things. That the water is drinkable, the temperature is mild, and the rain unceasing. In many respects, the planet is very much like Earth, and the days are very nearly the same length, almost to the second. The cultivated area along the riverbanks contains a variety of crops. So far as we can tell, principally a kind of wheat or barley. But whatever it is, it's in the early stages of its growth, which leads us to believe we've arrived during the late spring or early summer. Who or what it is that has cultivated the soil, we have no idea, for with the exception of flights of birds across the dark, cloudy sky, we've seen no living creature since we arrived here. The rations we brought with us from Earth have now almost gone, and Jet, Mitch, and Lemmy, armed with homemade nets and fish hooks, have gone down to the river, hoping to catch some edible fish. Perhaps there is further food to be had in the forest, but until we can be sure what kind of animals live there, we daren't risk entering it. At night, the forest resounds with the weird cries of some creatures or other. Their voices come echoing across the clearing and, carried by the wind, sound as though they are just outside the ship.
That wasn't at all bad. Would have been better with some potatoes and peas, but at least we needn't starve.
Well, not while the weather remains as mild as this.
What, do you think it's going to change then?
Who knows? This might be just the warm season. If it is, what's the cold season like? How severe and how long?
We've got to explore a wider area, find out much more about this place.
Yeah, what happens if we meet up with whoever planted those fields outside?
I hate to think.
I'd feel a lot easier if we had at least one gun between us, or some kind of weapon.
Look, can't we make some spears or bows and arrows? At least they'd be better than nothing.
Have you ever used a spear, Doc? Or a bow and arrow?
Well, no, I haven't.
Me neither. I wouldn't know how to begin.
Oh, it's marvellous, isn't it? Here we are in a rocket ship, the wonder of our age, stranded on some unknown planet in the depths of the universe. And when it comes to making a couple of simple weapons to enable us to keep alive,
Not one of us knows how.
Hey, weren't you ever a Boy Scout, Lemmy?
No, Jewish Lads Brigade, me. Didn't teach us nothing about bows and arrows.
Well, I think it's a problem we're going to be able to solve. We've got good tools. We could use odd bits of the ship to manufacture a few knives, arrowheads, or spearheads. We'll soon learn how to use them, and we'll have to.
Yeah, meanwhile, we can live on fish. At least it's a change from airtight sandwich packs.
It's getting dark, Jet. Maybe we better close the hatch.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
That's another thing.
What is?
We're using what power we have left to keep the lights going at night. What do we do when the juice gives out? Go out and buy some candles?
There are a great many problems we'll have to solve before long. A great many.
And one of them is some kind of shelter outside.
What for?
For cooking, that's what. Having the fire under the ship is all very well, but I'll keep getting soaked just the same.
Well, maybe the rain won't last much longer.
Well, I don't see why not. Hasn't stopped since we got here.
Well, it's time for me to go into the pilot's cabin and take the watch. Who follows me?
I do, Jet.
Well, I'll give you a yell in a couple of hours.
Oh, thanks.
I think I'll turn in. Don't suppose I'll sleep, but there's nothing else to do. How about you, Mitch?
Yeah, sure, might as well.
Me too. At least until I have to turn out again.
Hey, Mitch, wake up, huh?
Oh, it's you, Jet. Oh, I was just dozing off.
What is it, Jet? What's wrong?
Is there a red princess knocking at the door?
Listen, are you all awake?
What's the trouble, Jet?
The rain, it's stopped.
Oh, blimey, didn't wake us up just to tell us that, did you?
Listen, the sky's cleared, and I can see the stars.
Well, what did you expect?
But the constellations...
Well, what about them?
Well, they're the same as we could see from Earth.
What? They can't be.
They are, I tell you. Come and take a look for yourselves.
You bet we will.
Well?
Yes, you're right. I can recognize them. Lyra, Cygnus, and the dolphin. There, see? Just the same. In fact, we might as well be on Earth.
Not quite the same.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, look at Vega.
Well?
I've been watching it for more than an hour, and she hasn't moved from that position. Well, hardly, but the other stars have. Moved quite a distance. They're circling round her.
So? But isn't it Polaris, the pole star, that virtually stands still?
Yes, it should be. And when we left Earth, Polaris marked the celestial pole.
Now, wait a minute. I don't understand.
I do. At least, I think I do.
Well, what does it mean?
Just this. Vega has been the pole star before, and will be again. Every 26,000 years or so, it occupies the place we normally see occupied by Polaris.
Yes, but apart from Vega, the constellations are the same as seen from Earth.
Yes, and don't you see, only from the Earth, or maybe from some other part of the solar system, would they assume the shapes they do.
Yes, I'm beginning to understand what you're driving at.
Well, I'm not.
It means that we must be somewhere within the solar system.
Well, that's a comfort.
And that's not all. We know that within the solar system there's only one planet with air, trees, water, rain, and clouds, and the Earth. This can only be the Earth. It is the Earth.
What? Oh, blimey. And I went through all that performance, testing the air.
But if that's true, Jet, how do you account for the constellations being out of position as they are? Why is Vega now the pole star?
There's only one possible explanation. We must have traveled here through time. We've landed on the Earth, all right, but at a different time from when we left it.
How different?
Heaven knows. But my guess is at least 13,000 years.
Oh, which way? Forward or back?
I don't know, Lemmy. I just don't know.
You've been listening to episode 7 of Journey into Space with Andrew Foles as Jet Morgan, Alfie Bass as Lemmy, Guy Kingsley Pointer as Doc, and David Williams as Mitch, and with David Jacobs. The orchestra was conducted by Van Phillips, who also composed the music. Journey into Space was written and produced for the BBC by Charles Chilton.
From Charles Chilton to Chester Wilmot. This is vk3sl, testing on 160 and also on UHF.
The Montebello bomb and all the equipment for this experiment were made in British workshops by British workmen. Accurate to 1/10,000th of an inch. That was the precision demanded and achieved, both for the bomb and for the instruments to measure its performance. At Fort Holstead, they made 2 high-speed cameras, taking pictures at the rate of 100,000 in 1 second. With these cameras, the scientists could reconstruct the pattern of the explosion in the first revealing fraction of a second. In concept and design, this camera was entirely British, and design became reality in the hands of fine craftsmen. At every stage, check and double check. Instruments too for testing the impact of the explosion, for measuring heat, blast and radiation, for gauging the instant shaft of gamma ray and the lingering poison of radioactivity. All these designed and produced at Holstead, Howell and other atomic energy establishments. This electronic equipment will carry the circuit to actuate the firing mechanism in the bomb itself. Here, the designer's demands reach the peak of precision, an accuracy of 1/1,000,000th of a second. Nothing was left to chance, how the bomb would perform when the testing time came. Many minds and many hands were turned to the atomic weapon, but only half a dozen knew the whole secret of the bomb's design. They knew they were making a weapon of awe-inspiring power, but they would never see the finished product, never even know, perhaps, the ultimate function of the parts they handled with such care. Inside headquarters, the rest of the control party are waiting at their instruments. In the half-light of the control room, the safety link is delivered to the controller. The final process of firing can now be set in train.
Time bracket open. Fox George, this is How 1. Pass your message, over.
Hello, How 1, this is Fox George. Phase Saturn completed. Over.
Understand. Phase Saturn completed. Out.
Right. You can put the safety key in now.
Safety link in. Circuit complete.
Can we have the all-ready signals, please? Mr. Abercrombie, please. Thank you. Minus 8.5 minutes. Minus 7 minutes. Minus 6 minutes. Minus 5 minutes. Minus 4 minutes. Detector valves up. Minus 2 minutes.
lethal cloud. Rising above Montebello marks the achievement of science and industry in the development of atomic power. Good or evil, for peace or war, for progress or destruction. The answer doesn't lie with Britain alone. But we may have a greater voice in this great decision if we have the strength to defend ourselves and to deter aggression. That was the meaning of Montebello.